Girl,
Everybody
it's
follow the
packed
one
out
line,
here tonight.
please. Follow the one line, please.
I told you.
IDs out. I need to see IDs. Thank you, ladies. Welcome to Park Ave.
Excuse me. Hello? Can you move? What? Excuse me. Oh my God. You ready to go? Girl, I've been ready.
Well, hey, girl, hey.
Hola.
How are you? I was about to say Happy New Year, but I guess not.
Not yet. We're close. Not yet. Feliz Navidad.
Girl, yes. How was your Christmas?
My Christmas was like just another day. I mean, I slept in. I drank.
Merry Christmas.
And I ate some Toscano soup, and that's pretty much it.
What did I eat? Oh, I had salmon, grits, and eggs.
Yum.
I didn't too much do nothing. I didn't too much do nothing either. I really just sat around the house and let Christmas movies watch me, essentially. Because, you
you just fall asleep.
And then you wake up. I didn't go back to sleep.
Yeah, you get readjusted. Yeah. I started watching, so I watched the first couple episodes of And Just Like That. And then I said, I need to go back to the beginning.
And Just Like That, go ahead.
We'll get into that. But I started watching the beginning. And this is when I think I texted you. And I was just like, I have so much. Because and I guess because watching it as a 37-year-old versus a 15-year-old, it's just completely different. Or just watching it as the age that they are at.
Because how old are they when the show first started?
I think they're in their late 20s.
And Samantha might be in her 30s.
Yeah, so I think I'm on season 4 right now. Carrie just turned 35.
Okay. And so that means Samantha was like 40 or 39 or something, yeah.
So just to kind of be in that headspace, or just that age range where they're at, I'm just like, see, I wouldn't have been friends with none of them hoes.
I would have been friends with Samantha. I would
have been friends with Samantha.
Now,
maybe Miranda, because Miranda did come around, but I don't think I could have been friends with Charlotte, and I couldn't have been friends with Carrie.
I could have been friends
as much as I liked Carrie.
Oh, I adore Carrie. Carrie is actually my favorite. But I think Charlotte might have been very judgmental when she was a hoe too.
Super judgmental.
And it was just like, you out here fucking too. So it's like you just because you want to get married while you fucking does not negate the fact that you're fucking too. You know what I mean? Like some people be like, well, I'm looking for my husband. You're also getting dick from every
you're
person.
also getting dick down.
Yeah, it don't count because you baked the muffins in the morning. Like you still gave him some vaginuses. So that was like my thing. And to me, Carrie was just self-absorbed, but I could relate to that because sometimes I feel like I can get in a space where I forget other people has problems. It's like, don't worry about me. Yeah. I'm having a bad day.
Yeah.
So I think she had to come out of that. And I think Big was humbling her ass through
left and right, honey. Left and right.
So that girl
left and right.
Big kept his foot on Carrie's fucking neck. I was telling my mom, I was like, hey, Jordan said she think Big settled. And I told her, I
think he settled.
This is why I don't think he's settled. Big's ex-wife, the first ex-wife, because remember that
the one that was
her, Natasha, and even when he dated that model, they all look alike. They're all brunettes. They're all like tall and thin. They're all polished. They're all like Natasha was in J. Crew and khakis and polo shirts and like K-Swiss. And they had these really good jobs. Like I think Natasha was doing fashion at the time and wasn't the first wife. Apparently she was something with it when it came to books because Carrie went to her.
Yeah. She's a literary agent.
Yeah. So they were very polished. And I think Big, his name was like John James Preston.
Yes.
He's like a straight white male. He was in finance. He had a look to him. And I think what he thought his picture was going to be this good on paper girl who had this perfect brown hair, wore her little khakis and her little K-Swiss and, you know, her Keds.
She has a teacup collection.
Yeah, he thought that. And then he fucked around and fell for Carrie. And I think it took him a minute to be okay
I can see
with
that
her. Yeah, he had to be okay with her. Because at the end of the day, Carrie wrote a sex column. And when they say it just like that. Like, I'll write a sex column. A sex column?
Yeah.
Her hair was wild.
Yeah.
Even when she ran into Big, she had on like a bandana, tube top, like cowboy hat, and like Natasha did like a khaki dress. I think. Why are you laughing this hard? What's wrong with you?
Because I so can feel that. I can relate to that.
And that's why when you said that, when you said it, what?
Maybe I was
aesthetic.
drunk. I mean, no, I can. Okay.
No,
okay.
aesthetic.
I agree with you.
Aesthetic wise, I think I'm very much between Carrie and Samantha. Like her relationships is me. Samantha's mouth is me. But to me, when you said that, I'm like, but you're essentially a version of Carrie. You're like this flower child, this wild child.
Okay.
You're not the girl. You're going to be the girl who meets somebody's mama in a mini skirt, a collar shirt, and some combat boots.
Okay, well,
you're not hella you know what I mean? And not in a bad way.
Yeah, I know what
you're
saying.
just not. You're not polished
like that. So I'm more rough around the edges.
And then even when she met his mom, it's like this nigga go to church every Sunday. He was a typical straight white male.
Yeah.
He went to church with his mama every Sunday. When she showed up to the church, she had on like a powder blue suit. Like you see these people in these classic Chanel outfits, and here you go in this powder blue suit, and it's just everything about Carrie was wild. He met her on the street when she dropped condoms, and so
all right.
She was supposed to be the fuck me girl. She had sex with him on the first night in a naked dress. She calls him from the club with some nigga talking about I'm about to go home with the nigga. He like, wait, what? Even I think you said you were in 4th season. Even when they were dating, and he took her to like the Upper East Side to that party.
Oh yes,
and she did not fit in.
She couldn't fit in. Yes,
and her outfit didn't fit in.
And then she went home with the cake.
She went outside, and the lady
was just like, I was just like, she's so used to this bottom barrel kind of energy, or like that low denominator,
and that's why Big made her insecure. She even said it all through the show, like I don't fit in your world, I don't fit in your picture. How do I fit? You're perfect. And it's just like she was just all over the place. So I don't think he settled with her. I think it took him a minute to come to terms with like, damn, I really want to be with this wild child.
I can see that.
Like, I can see that.
I would retract my statement from the record.
Because the thing about Big too is, he was never without being able to pull. Even when he dated the actress, that actress was a brunette. Like he actually had an A type of woman, and Carrie was literally not that woman. Because she was so embarrassing at the Upper East Side party for no reason. I can't get.
So what? I'm a bitch.
No, but like even when she was like, she asked for more love, and she's like, we don't do like. She's like, you're subliminally worried about a spill. And it's like you go outside with the nigga smoking a cigarette who's serving food, looking at his tattoo, and Big like, if Big was outside with some girl, like if Big was outside with some chick looking at her nipple rings, you would have been ready to hang yourself.
Yeah.
And then she got pissed. Hey, were you outside looking at his penis? I mean, if you were a gentleman and you would have came outside while I smoked my cigarette and these white people party who think they're just better than me, it's like, Carrie.
Yeah. Okay.
And then took her ass to the hole in the wall. Like, Carrie was just so fucking insane. like Big, and don't get it twisted. Big did some awful things to Carrie, but Carrie wasn't.
I just wanted to when she said, well, you know, when he was going to Paris, and she was just like, well, okay, well, you know, I guess we can make it work. I'll fly. And he said. And then when she said, I'll maybe even move to Paris, he goes, well, whoa, I don't want you to move out there for me. Yeah, I would have. What? You bitch, you raggedy bitch.
But I think he was trying to find a reason to get out there and like, this ain't gonna work. So let's just call it quits and call it clean now. Because the reality about Big, his actual type would have been Charlotte. Charlotte was brunette. Charlotte was refined. Charlotte was ready to bear kids and keep your house neat. And that's the truth. I honestly think for Big, it was like, Carrie wasn't a downgrade by any means. She was just very different from what he thought
that he wanted.
Even him going to church with his mama every Sunday shows the type of dynamic he has with his mom. And even when you look at his mom was a brunette. She had on like this straight suit. And it was like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. I'll be waiting in the car. John.
Yeah.
And then Carrie and Miranda in blue and orange. Get your ass home.
But I think watching the show now as a adult woman, it so much more perspective. And then looking
I started watching it after you mentioned it that day
and
too.
and then looking at, so this last episode where she goes to search out Natasha.
And are you talking about And Just Like That?
And Just Like That, yeah. So, and then looking at some of the scenes, just because, you know, as a video person, they've incorporated a lot of those past shows into the new season. So when they talk about how the apartment needs to go back to be beige because it's too, that was a reference from when Big said that everything is beige.
When he was with Natasha.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then which it tied into that, which I was like, oh my God, that is so crazy. And then when she opened up the door to the restroom when she was in that coffee shop, she spilled coffee all over herself, and she burned herself. In, I want to say season 3, she spilled coffee on Big when they were at that furniture thing. She spilled hot
with
coffee.
Aiden, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just all these little elements that like tied together. But just going back and revisiting the show, I'm like, man. And then I thought Carrie was very shady to Samantha.
Why?
Just because, just certain little comments that she made, like, dang, what did she say? She said, I have to go back because there are certain little comments that she made to Samantha.
Like, for me,
that I felt that they were very. I'm like, damn, why is she always shading her? Because she always wanted. Samantha wants to fuck, okay?
My only thing about Carrie was just hella irresponsible. Because let's always be clear. I made Carrie my Woman Crush Wednesday one time, and I made it clear that Big was her sugar daddy. Let's just really... Because Big was like 10, 15 years older than her to begin with.
Yep.
And he was financier, and he made it clear that he could afford to buy an apartment at the drop of a dime. And anybody, and spoiler alert if you haven't watched And Just Like That, anybody who can leave $1 million to the ex-wife off GP, you got bank.
Yeah.
So I just feel like with Carrie's dynamic, I know people I guess can't stand Big, but I think it was humbling for Carrie, but I also appreciate it about Carrie. She was never really, like, she had episodes where she was distraught about Big, but Sis kept dating the whole entire time.
Yeah.
So like Carrie's not like this. Because I think on the first episode of And Just Like That, and the girl was like, remember how bad he treated her? And it's like, y'all act like Carrie was at home tooling her thumbs behind Big. Yeah. Carrie was fucking all around and on top of Big. Like,
everybody.
Big probably didn't get more, Big didn't get more sex than Carrie got.
I'm on the episode where she dated the jazz musician.
Because I'm a jazz man. You want to play me?
She's like, play me.
But like at the end, she just, like I said, I don't think Big settled. I just think I think it took time for Big to realize that it was actually okay. Like, being with Carrie was okay. It's not what you predicted when you was down probably to Harvard or Yale.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it's probably not what you're seeing for yourself when you go to your business meetings and you see everybody else's wife in like little perfect outfits, and here come Carrie with Lord, Carrie just... Everything. Like, you don't know how she about to walk through the front door.
She has sheets on with some tulle.
Like, it's a business meeting. You're not Carrie about to walk in this bitch.
Oh, my God.
And then Carrie, too, I think what made him feel better, I know it sounds shallow, because they turned her I was about to call it a blog.
They turned into her column into a book.
Because they turned it into a book and made her an author. Mm-hmm. And I think then that looked better on paper. Because everybody kind of in a weird way just basically was like, oh, you write a sex column. And they said it in such a way.
The meaning.
Yeah, like, I mean, you write a sex column. It's like...
Yeah, I can see that.
You talk about sex all day. I mean,
yeah. I don't know. I guess the reason why I thought that is because I was just thinking, like, this in and out. Like, 1 minute he's in, the next minute he's out, 1 minute he's in.
But she was a lot too, because he made her so, and he didn't even try to make her insecure. She knew he was perfect. Perfect hair, like, perfect apartment. And I can understand that. I relate to that dynamic because, like, there are a couple guys that I've dated where I felt like, whoa, he's really outside of my league. But we like each other, but I can understand that my wildness
is almost like an unsure bet.
Yeah, and it's like, well, how are you going to look?
Right.
How are you going to, how are people I know and love going to perceive you?
Yeah. So, but I guess it's just that moment, like, I don't know. I just, like, when he married Natasha and then he went back, and it's just like, dude, like, I felt because, like, Carrie was always there. And
But
she, you know, the relationships that he tried to, like, even with Aiden, like, he was just like, bro, you gonna show up at my bitch's house with the nigga there? You gonna call, talk about, I know he's in there, I'm gonna come up?
No, but
bro.
Was she there, or was he also just there? Because he showed up too. I
don't know. That's kind of like,
but because it'll be like 4 or 5 episodes, and then all of a sudden his stalkerish ass is outside his apartment. That's crazy. Like, we need to call it thing to thing. Like, that nigga stayed pulling up on her in that car. Like, he stayed pulling up on her. Like, it was nothing for that girl to go outside her apartment. That nigga was like, I was there for 2 hours. That's stalking. Let's call that a thing. So it's like, was Carrie there? Yes. But was he also there? Also, yes.
Again,
both people can be there.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm gonna come all the way up to East Jesus Nowhere to tell you about some bitch I'm fucking. Hey. Because we're going to be friends. Because if you want to be with Aiden, we're going to be friends. Oh, Carrie loves a jazz man. And then, like, that weird shit of just, she was pissed. Like, when he got out the car, it was just like, well, why would you get out the car?
Why would you do that?
So was Carrie there, or was he a stalker? Like, let's just really, let's delve into the fact that he's a psycho.
Oh,
they were.
God.
And that's okay.
Yeah. No,
that's
they
all.
Totally were both
and like I said, maybe I could feel, because I know a lot of people want to feel bad for Carrie. The only time I genuinely felt bad for Carrie is when he pulled out of that wedding. But outside of that wedding, Carrie pulled a lot of stunts on Big Ass too. Like, Carrie did a lot of immature stuff because she wanted his approval or attention, and she really just didn't know how to get it. So it's like she'll do something stupid to kind of test his loyalty to her. Well, you need to come pick me up, or I'm going home with this nigga.
Yeah.
Like, girl, in what world? You called a nigga up, told the other nigga to speak on the phone. Like, what is wrong with you? That's some shit to get you beat up outside the people club now. Like, that's domestic violence. That's some shit where I'd be like, damn, what you did?
Oh my God, yes. When he left her at that altar, that would have been it for me.
Yeah, that was the only...
That would have been it for me.
That was truly the only time I was just like, God damn, nigga, like,
what are you doing?
Like, nigga.
Duh.
Like, even when he came back married to Natasha, that was a blow. But I could almost get past that. That wedding shit, after I think we built something, we're finally at a stable and good place, and then it's still the same trickery, that would have had me hot. But then Carrie did a lot of bullshit. She jumped her ass in Dubai and was kissing Aiden, and then called Big Detective. She had no problem telling that nigga shit. I kissed Aiden.
But the nigga left her at the altar.
He left her at the altar, but the issue is you still marry him. And sometimes when you still go through with certain stuff, you gotta leave some stuff to the wayside. Like, you left me at the altar, you still married me.
Yeah, okay. That's
you
true.
should have left that shit back 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And
you should have did it 2 years ago.
And then, truth be told, Carrie liked the games. People don't want to... Some people need to realize that they like the mess, and it's okay. Just sometimes you just need to... There was a time in my life where I enjoyed the mess, and if it wasn't no mess, it wasn't that fun for me. With Carrie, she was even in that second movie, because I'm gonna act like And Just Like That isn't really happening. That's just a whole nother show that has nothing to do with the actual Sex in the City. But even in the second movie, she was more annoyed when he was settled. He was like, I just want to stay home and watch TV. Man, we built this nice house. We got this nice life. Like, man, you don't want to just...
She wanted to go out.
What? You don't want to go to the club. So you just in the house. What happens to the nigga I married? What happens to the nigga that had hoes? Like, like, Carrie, this nigga settled and you're mad? Oh, I'm so bored. Here, you take a shot and you get your clothes on, because we finna be out. Like, I don't all this shit. Watch I Love Lucy. That's for the birds. You ain't got no hoes.
You ain't got no hoes. You ain't chasing no boys.
Yeah, you ain't got nothing going on. And that's when I was like, Carrie, y'all can say what y'all want about Carrie. Carrie liked it.
She was.
Carrie liked it. She was very much so addicted to the complication of it all as well.
Absolutely.
Which sometimes the complication be so fun too. But
and I can see that, and that's cool. I don't know.
But now that nigga stays showing up. Happy birthday, kid. Like, here's this nigga with some balloons.
With some red balloons.
So Aggie.
That's it. That's all you got.
Well, he pays her bills, so. And then even when she needed no apartment, I need money for apartment. All right, then. Like, it's it's just
should I take it?
Carrie loved, and then when Carrie did have nice people, and then Carrie was bored. Carrie was bored with Aiden. Aiden was fun for the break from Big. Like, I've been through all this bullshit. Let me find me somebody to chill out.
He done did her apartment, waxed her floor.
Listen, that was a good man, Savannah.
That was a good man, Savannah. That
nigga bought the apartment next to you, about to have you blown up, just out here living. And in your ass, getting dick down in that Motel 6 with Big.
In a Motel 6.
Because it started off real nice.
It started off nice.
Yeah.
You started off the 4 seasons.
Yeah, it did. Now your ass
Motel 6.
somewhere
you can't
in the
even
Bronx.
open up the window.
Right. The fuck on.
My God. My God.
Carrie don't get that. I'm sorry. Because people be like, I don't feel bad for Carrie. Carrie like that shit.
I do. Now, in hindsight, I do believe that I could see that personality trait in her is very frantic.
Yeah, sometimes, because I've been unleveled around a dude before where I didn't think I was good enough.
Yeah.
So it makes you're always trying to seek approval. You want him to be like, good job, champ. And it's like, they not doing it. But it's not because you're not doing a good job. It's just they don't feel like they need to reassure you every fucking day. And the reality about Big and Carrie is Carrie needed to be reassured every step of the way. And after a while, he was like, you be over here every day, nigga. Like, do you not think I'm fucking with you?
Yeah.
Well, you didn't say you're fucking with me. It's like,
you didn't say it like that.
I gave you a toothbrush. You got a piece of my closet.
But you know what? When I was 22, I dated this guy. And he was older, but he was like 24. Like, he was 25, 26. And again, I'm just a little server at Olive Garden, and he had his own business and was thriving, and he was very popular. And I remember I felt like that. Like, I felt very insecure, even though, like, I know I'm a good person or whatever, but just being around him, that it gave me those feelings of inadequacy, because just like, well, one, I'm not a video model, I'm just a little surfer. I'm a surfer at Olive Garden. And it's just like, am I out of my league? But I know that he really liked me. I know he cared about me, but it was that same kind of like pull.
I was like that for years.
I was just
over
like, am I enough? But now and there, of course, that lasted for a while, and then once it was over, it was over. But then looking back in hindsight, I am one of those, because he is one of those guys that he has a cookie cutter image of the type of person that he wanted to marry, and because I'm not that cookie cutter. Like you said, I'm wild. I'm a wild card.
Yeah, and if y'all listening, wild card doesn't mean that.
And then it's not a bad thing. But for him, I think that he was so more concerned about what he looked like to other people, or what other people perceived him as. He went what was safe on paper, and that happened, and it's cool. And I'm not, there's no weird feelings about it, because I understand I am a wild card.
Yeah, I don't think I'm like twofold. I could be very much so. I'm good on paper, so if you run down my life, I'm perfectly great on paper. Now, the flip side to all that is I'm still savvy out the mouth. I'm still, my personality is still very strong, okay, and I don't care if it's your mama. Okay, Ann, like, fuck your mama. Like,
fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. So I'm a bit of a wild card when it comes to attitude, behavior. Like, it's just certain stuff about me I just don't give a shit about. I'm just whatever. I don't really conform to a lot of bullshit. Yeah. And so I just think in those type of spaces, because I can actually look the part, because I'm definitely no Carrie when it comes to, like, Adriana's more fashion forward, for lack of better words. Like, it works for Adriana. I couldn't wear what you wear. But then I can totally see if you some guy who wants somebody in a pencil skirt
Yeah, they're not
and a cami, they're not gonna get that from you.
Me.
Yeah, that's just not gonna happen. You be like, so wear what? I ain't wearing that shit. That's pretty much like how it is. So certain men have this look, and I felt that way because I knew a girl. She was good on paper, and when they used to kind of compare the two of us when we were dating this guy, like I remember feeling so inferior to her because it's like, and she was prom queen and she's an AKA and she's a cheerleader and you know she's so polished and she gets white tips and it's like and she wears her real hair and it's wrapped.
She wraps it at night.
She wraps it at night. And I'm like cussing people out and cut off shorts and cowboy boots and it was just a hot mess. So sometimes
a lot of the guys that I've dated, they're now married, and I look at their wives and I say, I can understand.
Yeah, and it makes sense.
It makes sense why you married this person. Yeah. She's safe.
Yeah,
that's a safe bet.
Yeah, and safe ain't sometimes doing a safe bet at bad.
And I'm not knocking anybody that does that, but I, you know, even looking at this particular guy's wife now, I get it. She fits the bill.
Sometimes they fit the mold.
Yeah, she fits the mold in which he was looking for, and I can understand our attraction to one another. But I know that it's going to be a very specific person that will be like, okay, yeah, I need that wild one.
Yeah, and it happens. So if you haven't, they haven't Just Like That on HBO Max. It's not bad.
It's not bad. I just don't like to see them old like that. I don't like that 6K. What the fuck they shooting on is just like I can see every fucking wrinkle.
I don't mind that. What I don't like about the show is they're like being extremely diverse, and
that.
I don't know.
It's almost like it's blatant.
Yeah, and it's like, I'm gay and non-binary. Hey, my name's Ashley, and I'm gay and non-binary.
Hi, I'm a black professor.
Yeah, I'm a black woman because I'm black. I want to be friends with you, but also I'm black. Yeah. And you're white. So come meet my black friends, but you're white.
Wait, yeah.
And here's all my black art because I'm black.
And you're white.
And you're white. Because I'm black.
I have braids.
You don't. Because you're white and you can't have braids. But I'm black. So it feels very much like that because this is my thing about shows like Sex and the City and Friends. Y'all get so woke that it's unfucking bearable. The reality about Sex and the City and Friends, they had black people. Black people weren't their main cast. And that's okay because in the real world, sometimes black people just hang out with black people. Sometimes white people just hang out with white people. Sometimes Asian women just hang out with other Asian women. Everything doesn't have to be like the United Nations friend circle. And that's just me.
Yeah,
I would not want in Live in Color. I would not want to watch Living Single and they had a white friend. The same way Girlfriends, when they I think a white girl was supposed to play Lynn. That show probably wouldn't have lasted if a white woman played Lynn. Sometimes I want to see the friend group in their real space. And sometimes white women just hang out with white women.
So there was a part in the last episode of Just Like That, and Charlotte was just like, you know, I just realized I don't have a lot of black friends. I need to start brushing up on my blackness stuff. And it's just like, I don't like that. You don't say African American. You don't need to say African American.
I don't need, and then the whole stand up with, I can't think of her name, but she was on Grey's Anatomy as well. I think she's Mexican. Her whole stand up thing was, I'm gay, non-binary, and I came out the closet. It's like, it wasn't funny. Who gives a fuck? Like, I just don't need the announcement of every time somebody of any type of what they deem diverse to announce themselves. Like, I don't give a shit. And again, I stick to what I say. Sometimes white women just hang out with white women. That's totally fine.
That's okay. You don't need to have, but don't make it an issue, you know, because I've ran into that to where it's just like, you know, some of my Caucasian friends, they'll be like, I don't have any other black friends outside of you. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But just know, like, there are a lot of black people out there, and please refrain from certain stuff.
That's it.
Like, it's okay. It's okay if you don't have if I'm your only black friend.
Yeah.
It's fine. Y'all are probably gonna be my only white friend.
Yeah. And it's okay.
I'm more open, you know, and that's okay. Like
sometimes your friends say it just is what it is. So I don't like this idea of them trying to be so diverse, because if they weren't diverse, people would have said something. So I agree with the white women online. I actually am a part of one of the white women coalitions about and just like that. And I agree. I'll be right there with their ass.
You don't need to be friends with
Thank you, April. I also agree. Sometimes white women do just hang out with white women.
And that's okay.
I agree.
That's absolutely okay.
Yes, Alexandria. I'll be right there with their ass.
I mean, I hang out with black people. And it's just like, you know, but then, of course, you know, when I go home, I don't hang out with black people. Because there's not even a lot of black people out there to hang out with.
And I mean, that's fine. Like I said, I got a couple of white people I know and I can kick it with. But they're not in the forefront of my life. They not, and that's okay. And sometimes some TV shows need to be just like that. Like literally,
I enjoyed watching a good group of white women
enjoy
themselves.
Indeed,
I think it's hilarious.
I thought so. And then I like when every blue moon. I mean, there's people act like Friends and Sex and the City didn't have a single black person ever, as if Friends wasn't filled with a coffee shop of multicultural people. You know what I mean? As if black people weren't popping up.
Yeah.
So it's like the core show don't have to be diverse. Yeah. Sometimes that shit is just how it is. Do y'all fucking hang out with white people every goddamn day? No. You probably see the white people at work. You know what I mean? Like, I don't hang out with white people in my day to day. Do I know some white people? Yeah. But am I gonna call that bitch up right now? No.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's okay. But, But then just like that. So if y'all haven't watched it,
it's good.
I know Chris Knox is pissed.
Well, I cried the first episode up until I read the headlines about the Chris, whatever his name is.
Let me tell y'all, Chris Knox didn't want to do Sex in the City, right?
Imagine he probably knew some shit was about to pop
but
off.
this is the thing about Chris Knox though. You should believe women, yada yada yada. But Chris Knox was on The Good Wife, and that show did very well. Chris Knox was actually on The Equalizer with Queen Latifah, and that show did very well. So it's like hilarious to me that, and just like that was the straw that broke the camel's back, because it's like he's been in Hollywood working and doing very well this whole entire time, I might add. But it's so interesting to see that he did not want to do Sex in the City, and him actually doing Sex in the City crumbled everything else. Mm-hmm. That's just the craziest thing to me. Because somebody was like, Chris Knox don't be working outside of Sex in the City. I was like, you a lie. He was on The Good Wife. That show did very well for CBS. Yeah. I say he on The Equalizer too. Or was. They clearly cut him. But it's hilarious that you was like, man, I don't want to do that shit. And then like, man, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get you on the show, but you only got to do one episode. All right, bet. Yeah, all right, bet. And then that be what crumble everything.
That is your legacy.
Yeah, that scene crumbled everything else for the past how long Sex and the City been off TV? Because he's been working consistently. Yeah. So I just thought that was like hella interesting. I'm like, I know he at home like, I didn't want to do that shit. Like I said, I'm a person, when I read shit, I be like, damn. I mean, I looked at Chris Knox looks like he'll do some wild shit. He just looks like he always did. He always got like this he got like dark
look.
Yeah, he got like a dark look to me. So I'm always like, this nigga be up to some shit. But the shit I thought he was up to was like tying bitches and whipping bitches up and making them subs or something. Ain't no nigga was doing that. Ain't no nigga was taking bitches. I thought he had a bitch tied up in a sling. I ain't know that was gonna be it.
I didn't know he was taking bitches.
But you know, like I said, believe women. I believe women, and I wait to hear all the facts. I don't like to jump to conclusion and ruin people's lives and shit. And then 6 months later, they be like, "Oh my bad." It's like, huh?
That was a lie.
Oh my bad. Like, what?
Yeah, definitely.
I lost everything.
I mean, just like I just want. Then you have to see the actions of the person. How does that so? Because I remember when all that stuff with like Russell Simmons, they were, all these people kind of.
Russell Simmons is hilarious to me because Russell Simmons just be stepping over that shit like. Russell Simmons.
Did you ever see that documentary?
It was on HBO Max. I didn't watch it. On the record, for the record.
So I watched that
because they got him and L.A. Reid in that one, right?
Bitch.
And
so
I'm gonna tell you about L.A. Reid though. I can't remember if it was T-Boz or Chili, but one of them girls from TLC, when they asked him about L.A. Reid's sexual allegations, one of them, I can't remember which one of them was like, I can see it. And I was like, oh shit. TLC.
So that woman that was that did that documentary and
she's still on his neck too.
I was just like, damn.
No, she's still on that nigga neck too.
But so then you gotta, okay, so after all that, whatever, this nigga moves to Bali and stays.
Yeah, apparently he said he back and forth, but yeah.
But it's just like, what are you doing?
But then the people too, this is my thing as well. People need to stop giving grace to who they fuck with. And then, see, that's my problem with a lot of these allegations and situations. People decide who they want to give grace to and who they're going to believe off rip and who they think is a liar off rip.
Yeah.
And that shit's always weird to me.
Yeah.
Because they don't really, they be letting L.A. Reid and Russell Simmons live.
But I can see them doing it. Then the reason why I say that is because I watched some early video documentaries of Def Jam in the very beginning. And I don't know if you remember that show that Russell did. It was when
Def Comedy Jam?
No, it's like his all deaf media digital shit was on VH1 or whatever. But just how the way he would talk to people, the females.
I'm going to tell you too why I believe it. I can believe certain stuff to an extent, especially because the culture back then was very demeaning to women in general. So I'm more shocked that more women haven't came out against hip hop artists.
Right.
And literally, I'm talking about all of them. Any of your favorite rappers from the 90s, I feel like at some point was degrading women. Some. Yeah, they were doing some wild shit.
Yeah.
And really, it was because, I don't want to say it's a part of the culture because it sounds sickening, but it's a part of the culture. It was a part of the culture. Like, demeaning women and making women feel like they have to suck your dick to get a job was a part of the culture. Hell, so even right now, in a lot of spaces, especially when you start dealing with hip-hop and sports, they're still very demeaning. And even in Hollywood, that's why all them people was like, me too, really, because them niggas had all the power. And it was like, well, if you don't suck my dick, you ain't gonna be able to get in this movie. What's up?
What's up?
It's terrible. And I'm happy there's a reform kind of happening and now people are on eggshells. But I think if we knew the truth about a lot of spaces in earlier times, we will be disgusted by majority of the face.
People. Yeah.
And I say majority, and you'll be probably even disgusted by their girlfriends and wives because some of them was let that shit fall on the wayside.
Yeah.
Y'all get these niggas out the paint, so
y'all niggas gotta stop raping girls.
I mean, some of y'all just gonna pay for y'all sins from 1995.
Stop taking it.
And I don't know why y'all want some girl. I don't know why y'all want to take vagina anyway. That shit seems terrible. Like fucking something that don't want to fuck you seems terrible.
It don't be dry,
right? Like, why do you want to see me in pain? Like, what's wrong with you psycho? And then why you want to go tit for tat, man? Suck my dick so I can get this job. Now I gotta sit here and act like I like sucking your dick. Why do you not want it to be pleasurable? Why don't you want me to take my time and be happy? Now I'm just trying to get through it.
Like now I got my eyes closed.
Like I don't want to slob on it. I'm not trying to lick your balls. I'm not trying to jack you off. Water.
I would have got the gooch.
Would have got the gooch, but now you forcing me.
Now you forcing me.
Now I'm just down here trying to survive. Fuck you want that for?
Just down here trying to survive, dog. Damn.
Don't trust. I don't know. Just don't trust these niggas. Y'all say believe women. I just say don't trust these niggas. I don't know. I don't really have nothing for y'all. Just don't trust these niggas. None of them. Niggas are fucking terrible. Yes, that's all I really have for y'all.
Demons.
Yeah, they really are.
Demons.
Like, trust women. No, just don't trust
from the pits of hell.
They are. They're just here to embarrass us. Weirdos.
Oh my god, that's funny.
But yeah, so I guess that's what's cool in the city.
Sex in the city. Sex in the city. Sex in the city.
Okay, so my Woman Crush Wednesday, it goes to a group of ladies, mainly because it's the movie I watch every New Year's Eve, because it's a New Year's Eve movie. And it is, I've done a couple of the women from this movie before as a Woman Crush Wednesday, but we're going to do them as a collective. What is the movie?
Waiting to Exhale.
It's Waiting to Exhale. So
that is a New Year's movie.
Yes, that is a New Year's, because if you actually watch Waiting to Exhale, it starts New Year's Eve. It goes a whole year. and it ends on New Year's Eve. So every New Year's Eve for like damn near a decade.
That's a nice holiday movie. That's a good tradition.
Yeah, for like the past decade, at some point on New Year's Eve, I watch Waiting to Exhale. Because we know the premise to Waiting to Exhale. It's Savannah, Gloria, Robin, and Bernadine. I took a test on BuzzFeed. I'm Robin. Every year I realize I'm more Robin than ever.
I'm Bernadine.
I'm Robin. And I get it. I totally get why I'm Robin. And it kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. It's just like...
But I low-key feel like I'm a Savannah mixed with a little Bernadine.
I could see that.
I'm a Savannah.
Yeah, I think you're Savannah. I think you're more of a Savannah than a Bernadine. I couldn't see you getting married and like this whole thing happening, him getting like vineyards and yachts and you didn't know.
Oh, no, yeah.
Yeah, I see more like a Savannah, like...
Savannah.
Yeah, she just seemed... She let that
You marry him, Kenneth, and Mama. You marry
Kenneth's a good man, Savannah. A good man. He's just in a bad situation. Well, Mama, you fucking marry him then. Mama, I didn't mean to cuss. I didn't mean to disrespect you.
Savannah
Mama was trash.
She was.
You know they cut my food stamps. Like, bitch, broke ass. I just don't want you to be alone like me. I love Waiting to Exhale. But
Waiting to Exhale is a classic
such a good
fucking movie, man.
One of the main reasons I watch Waiting to Exhale New Year's Eve because it's like a visual reminder of how much of life can change in a year.
Yeah.
Because if you really like watch it, it opens with an 11-year marriage ending, and the girl didn't even know what was about to happen. Bernadine was down there brushing her hair.
Boom,
Brushing the fuck out of her hair.
Rollers set. Her titties was out, ready to go to the thing, ready to go to the party.
Then you see like Robin, who is like really at the end of the day, she's a lover and she wants to be in love really bad. So she's spending New Year's Eve with her dog. And then you see Savannah, she's just moving to a new city and she's like, cool beans, I'm about to go to this party and kick it. And then you see Gloria, who's like not pining over her ex-husband, but she don't really have a love life. So she get dick from her ex-husband here and there when he come to town to visit the son or whatever.
Bisexual.
Yeah, he comes out as bisexual. No, he said gay. They say he's gay.
Yeah,
he's gay. I think he starts bisexual, then it goes into being, he's just gay. Yeah. So then it's like you watch them for a year and it's like this evolve. Like they evolved this entire year with relationships, with their own friendships. And truth be told, the person who had the hardest was Bernadine. I'm sorry. But even at the end of it, it's like...
Thank you for thinking of your children.
Everybody out! Yeah, out!
Did she said, I would like to speak to my husband. What?
Would you mind have the 2 words with my husband? Is that nigga? Yes. Would you gonna put me out, Joe? You gonna put me out? Your children.
I've been to the bank.
Your children are for sale. And I'm gonna come and get my kids. And if you think you're gonna flop them around your whore, you gotta. This girl's pissed, but she deserves to be pissed. So it's just Waiting to Exhale is every New Year's Eve is just a reminder that you can turn this shit around. So every year,
that's a message.
No, every year, if I'm really not doing nothing, I'll watch Waiting to Exhale twice because I like wake up and cut it on.
Because that's it. You know what? I'm about to watch that shit tonight.
No, it's like so I suggest everybody watch on New Year's Eve, but it's just it's a visual of how quickly your life can change and how you can not heal yourself, but you can always, if you just keep moving and keep trying to progress, you can actually heal yourself and make situations better, and you can take yourself out your own funk. Mm-hmm. Because everybody started that movie kind of in like this year that looked like it just wasn't a good year. Robin moved to Arizona for Russell, fine ass. I would have too though. Hold on, but time out. Only thing I didn't like about Waiting to Exhale was the fact that Robin kept that baby. That always pisses me off.
I mean,
because like, why? It's yours, and I'm keeping it. The married nigga, like, girl, you don't want no attachment to that nigga. You know. That nigga trash. Leave that nigga where he
she could have been pregnant by Troy.
No, she was like,
she could have been. I said she could have been pregnant by Troy.
Girl, the way
Troy wanted to her to meet his mama.
Girl, Are you am I gonna have to time you? Am I gonna have to time you?
Girl, he came to that party, he said, oh shit. Oh shit.
Girl, that goddamn way to excel is such a hood. Troy, tip your drunk ass. Let the women in the summertime need a shave.
She said, you raggedy bitch.
You better be careful when you pick up at grocery stores. Like,
what?
And then Savannah
she said, son.
How old is this son? I mean, he like 13. What's your point? My point is, I don't think we're ready for family reunions yet.
Dog, that shit is classic. Cause you throw that up here.
Girl, and then the fact that she couldn't find her wallet, and Savannah was like, so you don't think Troy took it? You was like, you think he stole my wallet? Like, Robin. What you want me to say? I'm a crackhead?
Oh my god, shit.
Girl, when Troy called when Russell was there, and she's like, I can't talk right now, Savannah. He's like, I suggest you don't have your boyfriends calling here after 10. Like,
And she was like,
this nigga jealous. That nigga asked for them pajamas. That girl said, fucked up pajamas. So when you start asking for those? Like, I'm with her.
oh shit.
Russell, are you fucking her? I'm not gonna tell you what I'm doing with my wife. Girl, it's just, I'm like, oh, Robin.
Oh my god, that shit is so funny.
Pajamas. That girl, them pajamas set my sis off. Pajamas. See, Russell been getting fuck out.
tizzy.
Listen, the way I would have been beating Russell last time in pajamas. I would have been calling Adriana like, maybe going to jail. Why? He said he needed pajamas.
He said he needed pajamas, girl.
He's so confused.
Dog. That is
so I suggest that you guys join me
every
at some
New
point.
Year's.
We
should have a New
Eve.
Year's watch party.
Yeah, we do. I really, they do have like an app where you can. I have to look it up. They do. I've
We
seen
should
it on
have a
Twitter.
New Year's watch party.
Yeah, I
Waiting
do.
to excel.
I do rather enjoy waiting to excel on New Year's Eve.
Yes.
It's just a friendly reminder that 365 days, so much can happen and change. You know what I mean? So just keep fighting a good fight, my good sisters. Keep, moving forward. Don't trust these niggas.
Don't trust them.
At all. Kaya told y'all didn't listen.
They are the scum of the fucking earth.
Girl, Savannah was fucking the shit out of
I just to
that
show
man.
you that's okay. Drinks on you, baby.
Have you lost your mind?
Kenneth called me.
Girl.
Kenneth, you are the scum of the earth. And you know what?
She thought we having a baby. A baby.
A baby.
A baby. Like, Whitney was on her good acting. Y'all had Whitney. What? Y'all had Whitney Elizabeth Houston at the time Brown fucked up.
I'm
A
so
baby.
funny. I went to this holiday party and I met a name named Kenneth.
Girl, I couldn't.
And
I dated a Kenneth.
And I said, Kenneth, you are the scum of the earth. And he goes, I said, clearly you haven't seen it. Waiting to excel. But okay.
Girl,
But
Lionel, you ain't Lionel all night. Kenya Moore, you was hell, bitch. One thing about Kenya Moore, y'all, we can talk all the trash we want to.
Yeah,
Kenya Moore will pop up in some 90s black movies and TV shows as the vixen. Kenneth, you ain't dance with me all night.
Oh my gosh.
And I can't believe it's real. Come on, that sis was fucking the fuck out of goddamn Kenneth. That sex was so good. This a man of God bless you. That nigga breakfast. No, but she was with Kenneth because she had cooked that man breakfast.
Oh, yes.
They played that Fake Evan song. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah. Kissing.
Listen.
Softly kiss. I want to know on Apple Music. Why don't you have that song
What?
on the soundtrack? They don't have Kissing You on the soundtrack. They deleted it.
I wonder what. Well, something must not be clear.
That's like literally one of my favorite songs. And I can't believe it's real.
And she excelled in the middle of her set. What? This is so good.
I can't believe it's true.
I'm gonna tell you the biggest disappointment in Wayne to Excel though. We didn't get the sex scene with Russell and Robin we deserved. I think about that shit often. We deserve Robin and Russell sex. Russell looked good. Lila Rashawn is a baddie. We deserve their sex scene.
I mean, over the other nigga, what was his name? The insurance man.
Michael.
She
was like,
oh, Robin, did you see Michael over there?
I seen him. Because she me. She like, please don't embarrass us. Don't embarrass yourself and please don't embarrass us, please. I'm so Robin too, because when they call that white lady during that birthday party,
Oh, yeah.
I'll talk to that bitch. That's
No,
me.
it's not John.
Bitch. Savannah, talk to her.
Savannah, talk to her.
What happened to the music? And then them niggas creep, like, that solves problems. So, like, let that be a lesson. Listen to creep when some shit going down. Savannah, talk to her.
Savannah, talk. No, she didn't say like. She said, Savannah, talk to her.
What happened to the music? Birthday was going through. Hello, John. No, it's not John, bitch. Birthday, how dare that son of a bitch think you went to See, Gloria, I told you he was an asshole.
You know, I'm about to go watch that movie tonight.
Yes.
That is hysterical.
Shout out to Win Texel. So that is my New Year's Eve. Shout out to the women: Angela Bassett, Leela Rashawn, Loretta Devine, Whitney Elizabeth Houston.
Nip.
Who else is in there? Kenya Moore makes a cameo. Leon's finance. Gregory Hines. Rest in peace, Gregory Hines.
Oh, he passed?
Gregory Hines been dead, girl.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to it. Murray from Donald Faison. Murray from Clueless.
Murray from Clueless, yes.
But yeah, so shout out to them. Wayne Texel is a top tier movie. I say this all the time. It is a top tier book. I read that book when I was like in high school. I probably read that book in middle school. Terry McMillan did her thing on Wayne Texel, the book. They did a great job making it into a movie, and that soundtrack is top tier. Tony Braxton's Let It Flow #3 got other plays in my house. TLC, this is how it work. I used to kill it.
So bad.
Used to watch that video on MTV every Monday, every morning.
I feel so sad.
My sister had that white outfit on and sweating like hell and sung the fuck out that song.
Thought I was over you.
But
I keep crying when I don't
love you. Oh God, that's so
but why does it hurt so bad? Yo.
Ooh. It Hurts Like Hell by Aretha Franklin. Yes. My Funny Valentine, Shaka Khan, that ooey song.
My love,
sweet love. So shout out. If you have nothing to do New Year's Eve, I suggest at some point during the day you watch Wait and Text.
You should have a watch party, because I'm down for that.
You know, I wonder if that movie theater is still, I feel like that movie theater should be cheap now, the one you can rent out.
Which one? The Alamo? I know they're doing like an Alamo draft shop for like $100.
Really?
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna look that up.
I would be dope. I'm down for that. Let me know. That would be dope.
Probably should have planned this way before, like...
Probably. But...
today.
Here we are.
But anyway, so I guess you guys know the running theme probably right now is New Year's Eve, because we are, a week away from 2022?
We're 4 days away. 5 days away.
Okay.
5 days
so...
away.
At the end of the year, of course, we like to do recovering from the year we end. So this episode is recovering from 2021. And so it seems this year kind of feels like COVID year again. It's like COVID year #2. But
definitely COVID.
What did you learn this year? What are you taking out of this year?
I learned that I am actually an entrepreneur. I learned that I can actually do my own thing and ride my own wave without that safety net of trying to, like, because I think in 2020 I was so like, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, oh my god, I quit my job. Like I cut all my safety nets. So going into 21, I was really determined to just kind of like get my footing and stuff like that, and I did. Eventually, and then so I'm very grateful. You know, this has been 2021 has been a phenomenal year. I traveled a lot to places where I've always wanted to go, and I'm just very happy, grateful. I stopped dating mid-21, so I'm just here.
So what are you taking from this year?
What am I taking?
Like, wait, because like for me this year was about not coming into my own, because that's like an extreme word, but I think this year for me was like me trying to push myself into maturity.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I spent like a greater part of like these last few years being all over the place.
Okay.
And so this year for me, I've been trying to be more intentional with everything that's around me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like I kind of feel like, because again, I'm all about free spirits and wild child and flower child, but at some point it's like I came to the conclusion that you can be a wild child, you can be a flower child, you can do all this stuff, but some stuff needs intention behind it. You can't just be flying by the seat of your fucking balls. It just it works for some people, but the scale of people it work for gotta be like 0.00001%.
Yeah.
You can't just wake up and be like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
And then it just falls into place for you. A lot of stuff needs intention. A lot of stuff needs work. A lot of stuff you have to nourish. A lot of stuff you have to be consistent and persistent with.
Right. Yeah.
And I realize I get my best results when I'm all in.
Right.
And so I'm trying to make sure going into next year that in every kind of aspect, I'm all in.
Yeah.
Be it personal, business, friendships, relationships, podcasting, that I take time to give it the most I can give it versus kind of just floating around. Because y'all listen to the show, we ain't take that much this year. And that too was like a part of like, okay, let's get really intentional.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Yeah, we had a conversation. I think I said
last
it.
Time,
we had a conversation before because not that I didn't want to stop doing Recovering Party Girls. It was just like, well, what are we doing it for if we just gonna do it like every other day? Let me correct that. Every 5 months or every 6 months. And so it's just like, okay, so what do we want? What is the end goal to that? It's like, what is the reason that we're sitting here telling random strangers on the internet our business? Like, what is the end goal to this? What do you want to see out of this? And I'm trying to go into every situation. Like I said, I had a couple of interviews in other departments at my company. With friendships, I spent a lot of time this year not in a bad way, but looking at the relationships I had around me and seeing, do they still suit my life? And if they don't necessarily suit my life, can they still be in my life in some sort of capacity? Like maybe we don't need to hang out Monday through Sunday. Maybe we don't need to like go on vacation together. Maybe we should just see each other once a month, or maybe I should like your pictures on Instagram. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm trying to go into next year being hella intentional, especially because these years are flying by so fast. Like, I can't describe how quickly it's like a new year. What you mean? Yeah. Well, what did I do this year? What do you mean a new year? Yeah. So I'm just trying to get better boundaries and be more intentional with myself.
I like that. No. For me, I think my goal, my goal for 22 is definitely making sure my boundaries are set. And checking niggas when they forget. And checking motherfuckers on sight. Like, I don't play about... And I realized a lot about myself, just not even with 21, but just within the past 3 years. I've allowed a lot of things to... I've just allowed people to kind of just, handle me however, whatever. And it's the closest people that I've allowed to kind of like...
But I think a bit of it too with you, well, not necessarily with you, but I feel when I was in spaces where I let people handle me, I actually was handling myself bad too.
So it's just that self-realization.
Yeah, it's like I was beating myself up.
Shit. I'm not demonstrating to myself how I want people to treat me. Yeah. So I need to change that. And I think that took for me to really kind of drop everything in 2020 when I left Sugars, to have that space. But then it's just like, okay, well, what do I really want to do? Then I said, okay, this is what I want to do. I did it. And then in this upcoming year, I've realized that I definitely need to set boundaries with people and own my shit. Like, I know that I'm good at certain things. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm passionate about, and I have to own that. And I don't need to necessarily explain to people what the fuck I'm like. because a lot of times I feel like I over explain stuff to people, especially people that are that don't want to get it, because it's like
people, are you trying to explain your worth or what you're good at? Like you're trying to make them understand?
It's just my life in general. It's overall. I know that sometimes I feel like I have to explain certain things to people that don't get it, and my life is in a way where it's not traditional. I like it like that. My life is very non-traditional. I don't conform to what society says I need to have at this particular age, or I need to be this thing. No, I'm going to be exactly what I am, and I know what I am. I know who I am, and I'm not going to conform to anything this world says I need to be at a certain age, or because I'm a black woman or whatever. I'm going to like the shit that I like. I'm going to do the shit. Like, as long as it's constructive and it's not harming people or myself, I'm good. So I have to stop, because a friend of mine told me that she said, you have to stop explaining yourself. She's like, people that get it, people that get it will get it. People that don't get it, you don't need to fucking explain yourself. So that's something that I am taking into 22, like you said, being intentional about things and people. Like, I don't want anybody around me that are negative or, judgmental or any of that shit, because a lot of what I do it's like it's almost like it's like you got to make it happen type shit. Mm-hmm. So I can't be around people that don't, or that are like, you can't do that, or I can't be around people like that, because a lot of my goals and my aspirations, they're not visible, mm-hmm. I guess, yet, if I can say it, if that makes sense. They're not visible. So being intentional around the spaces that I'm in, my time, that's the biggest thing that I've learned in 21, is my time is really, really important. I don't like wasting my time around people. I don't like my time being regulated by somebody else. Mm-hmm. I don't like my time. I don't like my time being taken for granted. I don't like if I say, hey, we gonna hang out, or we gonna do this, we gonna do that. And I get it. Like, sometimes life fluctuates and blah blah blah. But if I'm saying, carving time out of my day to put energy into this, that means something to me, mm-hmm. and I don't like when it's not appreciated, or it's just kind of being like, whatever, or it's not valued. I think everybody's time is precious, and I don't like to waste people's time. I don't want people to waste my time. If you're not of good energy, or it's not a reciprocal type thing, I don't want to be around it. My friends are my friends, and if we can't grow outside of, if we can't grow up, then I don't want that.
And for me, like, I guess with friendships, I'm just getting to a point where, like, owning my own shit, because mm-hmm. I'm very imperfect. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, very great qualities.
All are. Yeah. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's fucking perfect.
I got some top tier qualities over here. And
nobody's
shit.
Perfect.
Yeah,
nobody's
shit.
perfect. Nobody's perfect.
And so the things I don't, and I guess listening to people when they have grievances, and then if you hear the multiple things from the same thing from multiple people, starting to not take it so like the world's against you, and kind of try to navigate in that space. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes people really are just trying to help you out, and they want to see you be a better version of yourself. And let's be clear, everybody can have a bad year, a bad 6 months, a bad couple of years. Life just be around this bitch happening. So being very aware of me as a person. Yeah. Because sometimes, like, for the better part, I can be very self-centered. It's like, okay, Ann, but, you really, I know, and it's so juvenile to say. Like, you really got to treat people the way you want to be treated. And it's funny that you learn that as a kid, but you don't really treat people like you want to be treated.
Because as you get older, you're on survival mode. Like, you want to survive. So you got to do what you got to do. Self-preservation is the first law of the jungle. So you going to make sure you're surviving before somebody else is.
Yeah. So naturally, I'm trying to, because even with the show Insecure ending, and I know, granted, it's a TV show clearly, but even like how Into XL is, it's like you watch TVs and movies, and then you see these people become better versions of themselves, and then sometimes I find myself frustrated because it's like, well, when will I get there? When will I be the best version of Ebony, Natoya, McDaniel?
Yeah.
And then it's like disheartening when you fall short. So then it's like I need to be a bit kinder to myself in the process.
Give yourself grace.
Yeah, of the journey, because it's like not a treadmill, like a hamster wheel. It's like, oh, I feel like I'm being a quote unquote, whatever I deem in my head as a better person. But then I fall short on Tuesday, and then I take it out on myself for the rest of the week because I feel so bad that it felt like I fell short. So what I'm trying to do now is like let go of the incident, let go of the situation, let go of it, like learn from it, but let it go. Don't harbor it, and now I can't sleep at night, and
you just
dwell on it. Like it's just days. My stomach hurt. I don't feel good. It's just oh my God, what did I do? And like I would carry that for a week. And so now I'm trying to, okay, I did this. This was wrong. Let me, whatever it is, let me try to rectify it as best as I can, and then let it go. Don't take it with me into the next week. Don't take it to me in the next month, especially when it's stuff that was unintentional, but could have been avoided.
Right.
Like, it was unintentional, but at some point there was a decision that got made that led to this situation here. So it's like, okay, start looking at everything step by step, because it's always one decision at point A that got you fucked up around N and M.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now I'm trying to like, okay, and I need to, like I said, I have no boundaries with myself. I'm either high, I'm either low. I'm either really happy or I'm pissed. So trying to find a middle ground in a gray area has really been like the goal I've been dealing with like the last portion of this year. And I'm definitely going to try to take that into next year. And it's even something as simple. I was out with my friends Christmas Day. Christmas Day. And, the first goal was like, okay, Ebony, like I'm literally talking to myself in the mirror. Ebony, you're not spending more than $60. Stick to the $60, Ebony. Do not go over $60. Granted, I went over the 60 very quickly, I might add. Okay. So then I was annoyed. Literally walked out the house, was like 100. So I was like, okay, well that's blown. Okay, next thing. Ebony.
Hey girl.
Hey girl, hey. Do not keep going to spot after spot after spot. Learn when to say no and take your ass home. You need to take your ass home. Go home, Ebony. It is okay to not say yes to the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th spot. Nothing's going to happen. You're going to be fine. You don't need to overindulge. You're grown. You've been partying for quite a long time. Take your ass home. It took all of me at that 2nd spot to be like, okay, no, I'm going home. It's like, when I'm going home? No, I'm going home to where I live.
Where I pay bills at?
And so I'm going home right now. You're going home. But girl, we got a section and 2 bottles. Ebony.
Home?
You're going to get, and then where we were at versus where we were about to go, I was closer to my house where we were at. So we had already went to 2 spots already. So the 3rd spot was further out. And it's like, girl, we got 2 bottles. The Lush and Me, 2. what y'all got? And then it's like, but Ebony, you said you were going home. Because if you don't go home, you're going to get to the side of town that has all the bars and lounges. So you're not going to end your night there. You're going to go there, but then you're going to go somewhere else because that's just how it is. And that's where that area is. And that's how it's set up. So literally talking myself, I'm looking, saying no, but in my head, I'm talking myself down like, take your black ass home. Like, dude, like, why? Just go home. So then finally, everybody sort of their tabs. I get in the car, I go home, and I woke up, and I was actually so hella refreshed. And then even though I did spend more than a 60, of course, I would have spent probably triple if I would have took my ass out to another place because my natural being is, well, even though we have 2 bottles here, let's just get some lemon drop shots. I got us. And so it would have been just a shit show. So that is the goal, like knowing when to say when. I've always had a problem.
Listen to yourself.
Yeah, I've always had a problem. I go full fucking throttle.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to the depths of hell. If we going to the edge, I want to be at the edge with my legs hanging down. Like, I want to go all the goddamn way. We going to the ocean, I want to go to the bottom, bitch.
Yeah.
What's the bottom of the ocean look like?
Yeah.
So because of that being my personality and the extreme of me, it's like, okay, but because you need to make this decision now where you're still pretty much rational, coherent. If you go to one more place, all this rationale is going to be out the window. You're not going to give a fuck. You're going to be in the element. You partying, you seeing people you know, and the next thing you know, you about 5 clubs in. Now it's 2 a.m. So that is like, and again, that goes for everything in my life. I have a terrible way of going full throttle. Like I tell y'all this like all the time. I have literally no restrictions on myself, on my bank account, on nothing. And now I'm trying to give myself, it's like I'm parenting myself.
Yeah.
Like, hey girl.
But that's okay. But
sit
that's
your
okay.
ass down,
But that's
girl.
okay.
Yeah.
I tell myself that all the time. Sweetie, do you really need to go to that dinner? Do you really need to do that?
They probably don't.
You're tired.
No, and then it's like you get there, and then it's like you might click into like I click into Ebony 2.0.
Yeah, no.
That's fun, Ebony. That's Ebony who got the jokes. That's Ebony who gonna do the song and dance.
But you know what? But you have to do what's best for your spirit. And you always have to check in. Like now I start to check in with myself. Is this something that I really, really want to do? I know you agreed to it, but is this something that you truly, 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 really want to do?
And then sometimes, and I think me and Adriana have discussed this before, when you're fun,
yes,
people
that's
want
exhausting.
People
it's
want you at their function. We're pretty fun.
Listen, my friend, so she had a girl. I have never been so exhausted in my fucking life. My friend had a birthday dinner last Sunday, and mind you, I've been friends with her since I was in my early 20s. I love her to death. But the way she introduced me to these people made me realize, like, oh my God.
Oh,
like,
you came in as the fucking jester?
She said, oh my God, guys, this is my friend, Adriana. She said, if you want a good time, if you just want to go out and party, if you just...
We want to get fucked up?
This is the person you need to call.
You want to go have a one night stand and have nobody judge you?
This is the person you need to call.
If you do coke in the bathroom?
This is the person you need to call.
If you want to try Molly's one night for no reason?
Boom. This is the person you need to call. And I had to tell them, I'm like, okay,
no,
please don't call me. Like,
it is too,
like it's exhausting and
it is a bit embarrassing
and it's
a little bit. Because it's like, this is the thing.
And I know I'm a good time. And then it's like we went out after that and they're like, oh, you really are a good time.
And so it's a gift and a curse. Because I totally get why people want to invite me out.
Yeah.
I get these jokes off. I buy the rounds for strangers. You know what I mean? You got your friends with you. Yeah, you get your friends with you. I don't know them. I met them for 2 seconds. Y'all want a shot too? Yeah. I'm that person. I'm gonna sing and dance this shit up. Oh, give me some 80s music. Throw me on some Beyonce. Oh my God, is that Janet Jackson? I get so lonely. Let me do the choreo for y'all.
Yeah.
But then it becomes like a jester. Like
it's like I'm a clown.
Yeah. It's like, well, it's like, remember the time. It's like, can you entertain my queen? Yeah, and you're just now a song and dance.
Yeah.
But then it's like you're a song and dance, but then a bit of your personality is just a good time. So it's like this double edged sword.
I do love to have fun.
Yeah, I absolutely love
it. I love it.
But I don't want to be put on the spot.
The owner of DMR, he came up to me, he said, my nigga, did you just do the splits?
You was doing splits?
I was.
Okay.
But I was feeling it. It was my vibe. The song was right.
Yeah, you did
and
your thing.
I said, let's keep this party going. Boom. Split.
You want to turn this up one time?
We're going to turn it up. Let's turn it up.
Let me bust a split.
Let me bust a split.
And hand me another shot. Since we're here.
And he came and he said, you just did the splits. And I said, yeah, I mean, I just had to get the party going. He goes, this is why I love you.
Yeah. And it's just, so then like,
but then I'm just like, oh my God. But then I'm thinking in the next morning because my legs are sore. I have a headache. I'm pissed off. Like, I don't want to be invited to nobody else's birthday party.
It's 22.
I don't want to go nowhere.
And then too, when you kind of have this image of a good time and you're the fun girl, then it's like drinks are bestowed on you, and
girl,
people, you want to take a shot, and you're like, nah, we don't want to take no shot.
You want another one? You want another one? You want another one?
Damn, you don't want to take no shot. What's wrong with you today? And it's like, I don't want to take a shot.
Because I don't want to wake up hungover.
I don't want to be hungover. Like, girl,
I don't want to be sick in the morning.
I'm 5 seconds from AA meeting. Relax. It's like, and I, because I was talking to one of my homegirls, and I realized I do that to her. She doesn't really drink, but in a party mode, it's like, you want a shot? You want a shot? You want a shot? Mm-hmm. And she finally was like, when I say no, why nobody listen? And I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I actually hate when people do that to me. Like, I hate if I say I don't want a shot. It's like, well, take the shot. Take the shot. You don't want the shot? Like, why would you want the shot? It's free.
What's wrong with you?
It's a free shot.
What's wrong with you?
It's a free shot. You don't want a free shot.
Attitude?
But it's free.
What's wrong with you?
And so then it's like, now you're taking the shot to appease somebody when really that was the one that was the straw that broke the camel's back.
That's going to determine if I get home or go to jail.
This was the blackout.
This is the blackout.
This was the blackout. So that's what, but then I realized, like I said, my boundaries are, I have no boundaries on myself at all, period. And so it's like me trying to, like I said, I'm parenting myself. I realized I worked fine living with my mama. She told me what to do. I worked fine on probation. When I was on probation for that DUI, I was perfectly fine. I was on fucking probation. The city was running my life at the time. You know, they told me what I could do and couldn't do, and I listened and I followed. So it's like, well, why can't I control myself versus having somebody tell me what to do? So that is pretty much like how I'm going into 2021, like making sure I parent myself good enough to make wise decisions. Because for me, it's like, decision A is fine. Decision B fine. Decision C is questionable. And then by the time I get to decision C, I get all the way to Z, and it's a shit show because now it's just me being a wild child. But yeah, so pretty much trying to move with more intention.
Absolutely, I agree.
Parent myself, give myself boundaries. I kind of feel sometimes like the 18-year-old that just got out the house and now it's like a free for all. Yeah. But it's like, girl, you've been out the house for like 20 years. Yeah. Like, you're out the house.
No, I've had to go back and, in a sense, reparent myself as well, because there are parts of my personality that, you know, I mean, I moved out here when I was 18. And it was kind of just like, I just wanted to be away from my family. I wanted to be away from control. I wanted to live on my own terms. Mm-hmm. And I just was kind of like caught in this wind, right? But now that I'm older and I understand myself better, and I've taken that time to understand, okay, who the fuck am I? What do I want? Mm-hmm. Like, I did that, and now that I understand me better, I understand what I cannot accept. Mm-hmm. And, you know, the type of person I am, you know, I'm a full throttle person. Yeah, I either love you or I'm indifferent. Like, there's no, like, I don't, like,
no gray.
Like, yeah, like, I love you or I don't give a shit. Like, I don't care. So, I have to be very careful, and I know how my personality is to what people see. Mm-hmm. People see that good time. People want you around. People want to suck that energy out of you because it's so like vibrant, and like you have that same thing, like that energy is
and sometimes it come off as immature. Like I think was I talking to you before? I might have said this on a podcast. I can't remember, but it was. I'm 35, so some people who are like, I'm 35, people say I don't look like I'm 35. Right. And I don't act like I'm 35 either. I guess if you see me out in a club and when I'm bartending.
I'm 37. People don't think that I'm like people think that I'm literally 25.
Yeah. So I could totally see that. But I remember like this older woman. She was like, "Oh, so what do you do?" They just thought I was a bartender. And don't get it twisted. Being a full-time bartender is A-okay. A lot of people clean the fuck up bartending.
Yes.
But it was this idea that I was just out here living on the edge, and you must ain't got no real shit going on because you just seem so irresponsible. And then it was like, I have a full-time job.
That part.
I'm a salaried employee.
First of all,
I'm
bitch.
salaried with really great
first of all,
benefits.
you raggedy bitch.
Yeah, with really great benefits. And I'm 2 degreed in. I went to school twice. I graduated my master's program with a 3.8, bitch. But then it's like, I'm bopping around like a little kid, though, too. So then it's like, that was annoying.
But why? See, that's what
and I don't know. I
don't like that. I don't like that because people do that to me, too. Now, granted, I don't have a degree.
But you grown.
But I'm grown as fuck. I work. I've never not paid my bills, and I've had to check a couple people behind that, like because
it comes off as an insult.
Like it is an insult.
Yeah, and it's like
it is an insult.
And I've been trying to, because I was trying to figure that out. So it's like, am I being insulted or not?
No, first of all, motherfucker, like, don't let shit fool you. I can probably make more than you within your sorry ass salary, in a year doing this bartending. Don't demean this. Don't demean this.
Let's be absolutely clear with y'all.
Baby, if you know what I know, you can make some money.
You bartend at the right spot.
Okay,
no ass
baby.
And it be tax free because
it's tax free because they get all the money.
Yeah, because they don't be doing the paperwork right. You just be taking that money home.
So
Uncle Sam takes nothing.
Okay, so let me just say, like, I've had to check a couple people because it's just like, yo, like, please don't get shit twisted. Like, don't act like I don't pay my bills. Like, I don't, like, when you call me, my cell phone has always been on.
Yeah, it's
when you come to my house, lights have always been on.
There's water.
There's water. When you say let's go out to eat, I never not have money.
Yeah. So
it's just like, sis, I don't know what you think this is, but again, I think it's just this perception of the lifestyle, that freedom. Because a lot of times it comes from, but you know what? But a lot of it comes from people that are, what I feel like it comes from is people that are married with kids, and, they have this, like, this stagnant, boring life that they're trapped in, because when they have children and they're with this person, and we choose the opposite, right? Like, because we're not married, we're just living lives according to our terms. So there's this like underlying current of judgment that because we're not conforming to what society says we should be doing, which is getting married, having children, and just being little wives and robots and clean shitty diapers and shit. I don't want to fucking do that.
Yeah, so that annoys me. But then I know there are parts of me that's very immature that I personally, just not even because of the outside worlds, not because anybody said anything, that I want to work on. Because like I said, I'm all about evolving into the next level and version of myself, whatever that is. So, and I don't know. But
why not? Why can't you be who you are?
You can, but I always want to continue to evolve the person I am. I don't believe in staying the same. Your core being is gonna be your core being,
right? But you can always evolve.
Yeah, and that was the thing too. I struggle with because I have a tendency to rush
your process.
The process. It's
like you can't.
Well, what the fuck?
But you can't rush your process.
No, and I know that. Like, I genuinely know that, but I have to talk myself out of the anxiety and the depression, because I can quickly slip into it.
Yeah.
Out of the frustration of it all.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, I tried to be this person and I'm not her yet. And then it's like,
but what if you're not supposed to be?
not necessarily that I'm not supposed to be. It's more
At this
of
time.
Yeah. And like I said, but across the board, I get very flustered and frustrated when I don't see results. I tell people this all the time. I'm about results. All that journey shit y'all niggas be talking about. I'm like, yeah, that sound good. Yeah, enjoy the journey. But I'm like, where is the end fucking goal, bitch? So I literally have to talk myself out of that because you're supposed to enjoy the journey. The journey.
It is the journey.
And
it
really,
absolutely is the journey.
Somebody, I think it might have been my grandma. My grandma say, when you at the end, I mean, you dead.
Yep.
And I remember hearing that, like, I guess that's true. So that helped me calm down a little bit because it's like, well,
because you're girl, if you listen to these people that have made millions, like, so I started listening to these podcasts about creatives and how
Sisters Who Kill podcast, you girls, love y'all. Go ahead.
People that are in the creative fields, how do they handle the ebbs and flows of their creative practice? Because it is hard because we go through all these feelings and this lack of inspiration, and you have inspiration and you're like under deadlines, and then you have to do this. Like how does a creative person deal with these ebbs and flows of life? And majority of them have said that they ride that wave and they don't look at their destination. You can't look at the destination.
You have to enjoy the journey.
You have to just enjoy that process of becoming whatever it is that you're supposed to be becoming. And it's just kind of just like a shedding of skins, right? So even when I went to Mexico City, it was all these symbolism of snakes. Snakes shed their skin. And it's just this constant shedding of this, you're growing into this, whatever it is.
Like a butterfly.
Like a butterfly, yeah. So it's just like, because that was hard for me too, because I feel like I'm, because everybody say, oh, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be this. You're supposed to be that. Like, you're too this to be this. And like, you need to be here and blah. Well, okay. Because that's disheartening. I don't want to feel like I'm supposed to be here, but I'm still here. But like where is God? I don't know. I'm on the time of God, but God telling me I'm still down here, and you telling me. But
girl, I be the caterpillar that be trying to get out the cocoon and be like, I'm a butterfly. I be myself out the cocoon.
Wait, am I ready yet? I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I still see my legs.
Yeah, I'm out the cocoon like that every week. Like, boom, boom, oh.
No,
I ain't no butterfly.
But you know what? But that's the thing. Like, everybody has their time where they will become that person. But what I've learned to accept is that only thing I'm going to do is commit to my journey. That's the only
thing you really can do.
That's the only thing I can do is commit to my journey. I commit to my journey of being a photographer, a videographer, graphic designer, all of that. I commit to that. So whatever that journey leads me on, I'm with it. Now, valleys, peaks, all that, I have to deal with it. Whether I make $10 this month, $5,000 the next month, I'm going to deal with it. But this is the journey that I commit myself to. And I think once you commit to your personal journey, it doesn't matter. Nothing else matters. I don't care. I just know that I'm going to be developing, and that's what I'm taking into 2022, is that I don't care what other people think that where my life should be. Because that's what I get a lot, is that people think that I should be certain places, a surgeon, and things, and like I should be whatever. And I'm just looking at them like, but that's not what's on my heart.
Yeah, you have to.
My destiny is like I've been very in tune to my spiritual side, and I've been praying a lot. I've like, it's me and God, right? And I I made this prayer where I said, I am committed to this journey, however it transpires. It's whatever. But I'm going to commit to this lifestyle. This is what I want. This is the life that I want to live. I want to be free. I want freedom. And however that looks, this is my goal. This is my deepest desire is freedom. And I don't know how that looks in the grand scheme of things. I don't know how that materializes. I don't know, but this is my desire is freedom. Freedom to come and go as I please, to do work that I am creatively inspired by, that I love to do. That's the shit that I want to do. However that materializes, that's not on me to do. That's on God. So after I committed to that, literally it was just kind of like this little morsels of drops. Like, okay, boom, here's this. Boom, here's this. Boom, here's this. You can get paid for this. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm starting to see that. And when people are telling me, oh no, you need to be here, no, I don't need to be anywhere but where the fuck I'm at.
Yeah, you have to be, because everybody's journey and process and how everybody lives life is different. And it would be totally boring if we were all the same people.
Yes.
But I don't stress myself more about what other people are doing. Like, I don't think I should have a certain life based on what people are doing. It's like, I know what I want for my life. So it's like, well, why am I not here yet? But like I said, granted, that's me because I have to talk myself being dedicated to the journey. A bit of me is very uptight, people. I like shit in a very much so order. If you know me in real life, it's just certain shit I do not play. And so it's like I have to talk myself out of it because anxiety and depression really will start kicking my ass.
It is.
Because then I just get so down on myself.
Are you a creative person?
I wouldn't say I'm a creative person, but most people say I'm creative. I don't actually think I'm creative.
Do you think that in those moments where you get down, because sometimes when I feel like I'm very, very, very depressed, it's because I haven't created anything.
But I can totally, but you're talking to a girl who ran a blog for years.
That's what I'm saying.
So essentially, I probably am creative. What I decided though, in lieu of all the mess, is so I can't swim, people. I'm from Florida.
You can't swim.
It's water all around us. I cannot swim to save my fucking life. So what I cannot swim to save my life. Style. I will drown the fuck. Okay.
Oh my God.
And so what I decided is to sign up for swimming lessons. Like I looked into it. I found a place I'm gonna go.
Blessings.
And I think that is to be a combative. It will give me something to do that isn't me going out and partying hardcore. And then it'll give me something where I can actually see the process and the goal, and it'll help me with what I would have to go through the journey to get to the end goal, how to swim. And it's kind of me trying to restructure and recreate my mind so I won't be so obsessive about the finish line. And it's like, here's a goal. I want to learn how to swim. You're going to have to do X, Y, Z to get to this end goal. And it's me really trying to reprocess myself and rewire myself not to get so hell-bent on, so why not now?
Yeah.
Like, because I really, y'all, and that's in everything in my life. That's in my 9 to 5. That's in this podcast.
Yeah.
Everything is so, what the fuck? Where's the end?
Yeah.
So it's me trying to restructure and be okay. I'm kind of like, I watched the Insecure finale last night, and it's a part in the show, and she was like, I just want to fast forward to the part of my life where everything's fixed and okay. And I'm like, nigga, me too. Like, show me the end, bitch. But again,
the end is death.
The end is actually death. So it's like you always evolving. So that's like my goal in 2022 to be okay with sitting on that little canoe, just waiting in the fucking water.
Floating. Going like this.
Just in that little pond.
The fuck?
Yeah. See, I'd be the type of bitch to jump out and drown. I'd rather drown than wade in the water, okay? Bitch, drown me.
Y'all
first.
better wade in the water.
It is. So, yeah. So, You guys should spend the rest of this week reflecting on your year, figuring
reflect.
out what works
Absolutely.
for you, what doesn't work for you.
Set your boundaries.
Set your boundaries.
Know your boundaries.
It's okay to restructure things. We talked about restructuring
Give
last
yourself
episode.
some fucking grace.
Give
You're
yourself
trying.
grace.
This is a fucking pandemic. Like, what the fuck? They're
Like we're going into a third year.
This is like some crazy shit. They reported aliens. Nobody gives a shit about that.
That's, you know what? Actually, if I say alien, it just makes sense.
I mean,
It's
I
time.
get it. Girl, did you see
The
that post
apocalypse.
that they were just running? I mean, that's why I feel like the winds, the turbulence and over going towards Hawaii is crazy because there's aliens over there.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I'm ready to get to that part of the apocalypse.
But you know what? I'm ready to see an alien.
I'm ready.
Because I'm gonna
actually.
be like, bruh, I can do your social media.
Honestly, I'm ready for that part.
I can do your website.
Bring the zombies.
No, don't bring the zombies.
Bring the at this point, we need that part of the apocalypse because that's
my
what we're living in
God.
one.
Oh my God.
But yeah, watching Wayne Takes L on New Year's Eve.
Let's watch it. Let's watch it together, everybody.
You can follow me, Latoya Ebony, on all social media.
Okay, go ahead.
It's Recovering Party Girls on Facebook and Instagram. It's Party Girls Pod on Twitter. So follow us. We got some exciting things happening next year. So thank y'all for not counting us out.
Appreciate it.
I think y'all probably got a total of 5 episodes this whole year. But hey, girl.
But you know what? It's been a pandemic. We're in a pandemic.
Hey, girl, it's been a lot. So
It's been a lot.
when I said we're trying to be more intentional and better,
Yes, we're getting
this
there. We're gonna get there.
podcast
We're
is
gonna get there.
on the list of intentions. And, we got some cool
Cheers
things
to that.
coming.
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Clank, clank, clank.
Clink, clink.
We have some cool things coming. So don't count us. Thank y'all for not actually counting us out because it's a lot of y'all that still be hitting the page up like, so hey girl, it's been 3 months.
Encouraged.
It's been 3 months. You niggas still alive.
No matter what's going on.
Oh, and don't forget to rate us on Apple Music. Somebody gave us one, so we had a 4.9 out of 5. What's
Can we screenshot it?
No, yeah, dead ass. It's like we have a 4.9 out of 5. Somebody messed up our 5.
That's
If you don't use it, you need to go give me
That's
on the
Apple.
podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely, we have a 4.9. Somebody was just like, fuck this raggedy ass show. And I'm like, you know what, sis, I understand.
Be encouraged.
Sis, I'm not even mad at you.
No matter what's going
We
on.
just be over here yelling and cussing. I would have gave us a 1 too.
He'll make it alright. But you gotta stay strong.
And you can also buy merch at Teespring, which I feel like we should revamp. But Teespring, we have merch
We'll get
that's
there.
available.
New year, new us.
And yeah, that's all I
Ebony,
got.
I'm gonna eat these Doritos because I feel like you're just shitting on them and I'm hungry.
Oh, knock yourself out, sis. So you guys, Happy New Year. Be safe, be blessed, be
Wear
intentional.
a condom. Don't let them niggas nut in you. Don't let them shoot the club up. Fuck them niggas. If they not paying bills, if they not bettering you, if they not putting you in a position, fuck them purses. If they're not buying you land, if they're not buying you property, if they're not giving you generational wealth, fuck them niggas.
So Adriana's not having sex right now.
As you can
if you were wondering, Adriana's celibate.
Man, fuck them niggas, man. If them niggas calling you at 1:58 talking about what you doing, block them.
And she's also not masturbating, if you're wondering.
I'm not masturbating, I'm nothing. I got pimples that be popping up every other day. I'm pissed.
So
my period is regular though.
You guys have a Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And we will see y'all.
Don't fuck them niggas, man. Fuck them.
Okay, and our show's probably going to be bi-weekly and not weekly, so FYI. But follow us. Can you please give us 5 stars since we got a 4.9 out of 5?
And matter of fact, if you so bold to give us a 1 star,
Don't say
show yourself.
Okay.
Reveal.
When they start commenting like, hey, fuck them hoes, we're going to be in here mad.
Reveal yourself.
Happy New Year, y'all.